Epic gravel and bike packing adventures are becoming quite the norm here at GCN. And Hank being Hank, he decided to turn the dial up to 11 and take on the 575 kilometres and 6,000 metres elevation of the Old Chalk Way, non-stop. Now, if you want to see how Hank got on, we've got a video over on GCN. But in this video, myself and Hank are going to take you through all of his bike and equipment choices that he used to take on such an epic challenge. All I need now is for Hank to actually turn up on time. I'll give him a call.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service.
Where the hell are you? We've got croissants. Yeah, just hurry the hell up, will you? Right, mate, it's been like 30, 40 minutes now. You're taking... Right, mate, if you don't pick up the phone soon, I'm going to just call your dad. I'm going to get your dad down here. He's going to do the pro bike with me. Trust me, you don't want that. I've seen the last one he did. You're not, like, wasting my time. We've got, like, sound, lighting, cameraman. I even had a mechanic check the bike over first and clean it up a little bit for you. You couldn't even clean your own bloody bike. OK, then, so while Hank's recovering, I'm going to take you through the bike and the equipment that he used for this epic ride. And here it is, in all of its half-clean glory. Now, an epic adventure like this requires a pretty epic bike. So this is Hank's usual Pinarello Gravel F. It's kitted out with Campagnolo's Ekar gravel-specific group set and the Cadex AR35 wheels fitted with Cadex's AR and GX tubeless tyres. It's a very flashy gravel build, that's for sure. In fact, it was the kind people over at Cadex who really wanted to try and see Hank take on such an epic challenge. So on behalf of Hank, thanks for the wheels and tyres, and from my perspective, I want to say thanks for giving us yet another video of Hank pushed to his absolute limits and suffering. I mean, what more could we ask for?
I have been up for 25 hours, but don't mind me.
Now, often when I talk about weight, aerodynamics and efficiency of a gravel bike, people laugh and say, oh, don't be silly, that doesn't matter on a gravel bike. I disagree though. You see, if you're trying to ride 575 kilometres as fast as you can with minimal stops, every little does help. Therefore, lightweight, aerodynamics and rolling resistance do come into it and is going to make a difference. And I'm going to expand on this as we go through the video. So the wheels Cadex sent over are their new gravel and all-road wheels, the AR35s. Now let me give you some of the headline stats that you should probably know. They weigh 1,270 grams, they're 35 millimeters deep and have a 25 millimeter internal rim width. That means the tyres you can use are from 28 mil all the way up to some 45 millimeter chunky boy gravel tyres. They use Cadex's latest hub design, which features ceramic bearings and the R-drive ratchet system in the free hub. This has 60 points of engagement and uses a steel chromoly to make it super durable. In addition to that, it's also given a diamond-like coating to help reduce friction and wear. Now this bike's running Campag, but you also have the option of Shimano or SRAM XDR for your free hub choice. Now the weight might come as a surprise to some people, and these wheels are actually lighter than many high-end road wheels. This is down to features such as the carbon fibre spokes and using the hookless rim design. Cadex also use a laser cutter and hand lay the carbon fibre swatches. This minimises the overlap of the different fibres. Cadex say the wheels are as tough as most cross-country mountain bike wheels, and just like their road wheels, the carbon fibre spokes can be replaced and trued just like your traditional spokes. Pinarello launched the Gravel F earlier in the year, and it takes the design principles and tube shapes of the Dogma F road race frame set and translates that into a racy gravel machine. In the instance we've got here, this one is a 49cm frame, and it uses a 90mm stem and a 42cm wide handlebar. It's pretty much the exact same setup as Hank runs on his usual road bike. Now, those of you with a keen eye for detail will notice we don't have any pedals fitted to this bike. Now, Hank decided to use his road pedals for this challenge, which might come as an odd choice, you might think, and I'd be inclined to agree. However, when I asked him about this, he said it was in fact the biggest mistake that he felt he made, and it was for good reason. You see, his mountain bike shoes were lost in an unfortunate bag-losing incident, apparently, and it meant that every time he stopped in the mud, getting off his bike was kind of like a last resort, because when he did, it would take a couple of minutes to clear the mud from his cleats. A schoolboy error if you ask me, but if you watch the video over on GCN, you'll see him tiptoeing his way all around the muddy sections. The bike is built up with Campagnolo's Ekar One Bike gravel-specific group set and uses hydraulic disc brakes. We've got 160mm rotors front and rear. We've got a 40-tooth chainring in the middle and a 9 to 42-tooth super wide range cassette. Right, let's get these bad boys up to speed, see how the free-up sounds. Woo, yeah boy! Now then, if you've watched any of my previous gravel videos, which I really hope you have, you'll know that tyre choice is super important when it comes to fine-tuning the characteristics of your gravel bike setup in terms of things like comfort, speed, and grip. Cadex's answer when it comes to gravel tyres, you've got two options, the AR and the GX. The GX features a slightly more aggressive tread pattern and it's what Hank opted for up front to provide a little bit of extra confidence and stability in the corners in the ever so slightly changing weather conditions that he faced. And then at the rear, we have the slightly less aggressive AR option. This features a low-profile diamond pattern down the centre and an ever so slightly raised block design on the shoulder to give a little bit of extra bite and confidence in the corners. Who the hell are you? I'm here to take your job. The reason Hank went for a mixed tyre setup was to try and find the perfect balance between speed and grip for this unique challenge. There's a huge difference in rolling resistance between gravel tyres. The less aggressive the tread pattern, the faster rolling the tyre is going to be. That's going to help Hank to ride faster and conserve more of his energy. And when you consider the difference between a more aggressive and slower tyre compared to a less aggressive and faster rolling tyre is in the region of close to 20 watts, it all adds up to a significant saving. The tyres are 40mm wide and even on these super wide rims they measure up pretty much true to size. Now in terms of pressure, we've got 40 psi in the front and 45 psi in the rear. Slightly higher pressure than I perhaps would have run, but the reason Hank went for that pressure is to help to try and keep the speed up on the smooth gravel sections and the number of road sections that he rode through. Now this does mean a slight reduction in the comfort that you face because the tyres aren't absorbing lots of the vibrations, but Hank assures me that he didn't get any numb fingers, sore wrists or sore hands throughout the whole ride, which is something that can quite easily happen when you're trying to ride for in excess of 30 hours. And in terms of the saddle to help keep him comfy, he opted for one with a cutout, pretty much the same setup that he has on his road bike. As I'm sure you can imagine, riding this far means you're going to need a little bit more than your usual one water bottle and your normal spares. This is why we've got 3 toe peak bags attached to the bike. A large saddlebag at the back, a top tube bag, and we did have a small handlebar bag on the front, but Hank decided to take that home with him. Thanks very much, Hank. Now the top tube bag is super helpful putting all your snacks and accessories that you really want easily accessible for when you're riding along. And it's what I would say is packing very light for such an epic challenge, but it's for good reason. You see, Hank's trying to ride as fast as possible, and by taking less stuff with him, simply carrying less weight is going to help him ride even faster. As well as his essentials, Hank carried a power bank to keep his phone and his head unit charged up. Now, the head unit he opted for was the Element Bolt. It's the smaller of Wahoo's 2 head units, and it had to be charged just once throughout the course of the entire ride. And in terms of the spares, this quite literally blew my mind when I found out what Hank carried with him. Just 1 multi-tool and 1 can of muck-off BAM, which is essentially compressed air and a tubeless sealer. I mean, he really was taking it seriously, packing light and trying to go as fast as possible. We all know Hank, a real sort of do-or-die approach. Now, what I am super happy to see is that Hank remembered to tape up areas of his frame and seat post where the bags are going to go to make sure they don't rub through and damage this beautiful paintwork. You see underneath here, we've got a nice bit of tape really protecting the seat post. What I am slightly disappointed though is that Hank forgot to do this for the area of the frame where his bar bag was going to be. So if we look closely, we can see those little scuff marks, and that is why you want to tape your frame up. Now, as I've already mentioned, using a top tube bag makes it super easy to get all your snacks when you're going on the move. Now, Hank was aiming to eat 1 energy bar every 30 minutes and had electrolyte tabs in his bottle. In addition to that, he also had a huge porridge for breakfast, stopped at a bakery, got donuts, bagels, flapjacks, had Subway for dinner, 2 Mars bars drinks at 3:30 a.m, a Starbucks panini for breakfast, and more SIS bars as the ride continued. Whew. And alternative nutritional strategy, shall we say, but one that, well, kept him fueled adequately. Hank also had a set of lights from British company Exposure Lights. These use super bright Cree LEDs in the front and the rear, and he also had a spare battery with it. Now, presumably, the lights are sat at home with his handlebar bag. Fantastic. But what about Hank's sleeping arrangements? You see, any normal person would probably want to have a nice sleep midway through this epic long ride, you know, stay warm, dry, comfortable. But no, not Hank. In this saddlebag, Hank packed a bivvy bag, some lightweight trousers, and a down jacket, and then quite literally slept in a bush for 2 hours. And that right there is the one single reason why you will never see me taking on any of these bonkers rides. Right, hope you enjoyed taking a closer look at Hank's bike, and hopefully it's been some helpful information should you plan on taking on your own epic gravel adventure. But I am keen to hear your thoughts on Hank's setup, and if you haven't done so already, please head over to GCN and check out Hank's video, see how it got on. Right, I'm out of here. Oh. Hello, what do you want? Well, it's no bloody good turning up now, I'm out of here. I'm saving all the croissants and donuts for myself. Right, you're dead to me. See you later, we'll sort this out later. Got the idiot.